Good morning, children. Okay, now we start our third lesson. Okay, we have completed our second lesson and we start with the third lesson. Okay, so we have learned in the seventh class, sixth class, what we have learned? We have learned the five. Okay, we have the plant fiber. We have learned in the sixth class. What are the plant fibers? Cotton. We have learned in the sixth cotton and the jute we have learned, which we get the fiber from the plants. Now in the seventh class we are going to learn about the animal fiber. Okay. Yeah, you already have learned about the plants. Yeah, the cotton and how they are getting the fibers from the cotton plant and the jute plant. How they take the fibers from the plants. Have learned in the sixth. Now in the seventh class we are going to learn about the animal fiber. Have you seen the caterpillars? Have you seen the caterpillars which is present on the plant or the leaves? Okay, it will be like this, no? Like this they have. So they sits on us, so we can see they are the butterflies. We can see butterflies, caterpillars will be there, and the silkworms caterpillar will be there. So we can see all these caterpillars on the leaves. Okay, we can see this. So here Nilima and they are two friends, Nilima and Reshma. So they have went to the garden, and when they are plucking the flower, they observe the caterpillar, and one of them has shouted. Okay, so when they shouted, Nilima, okay, do you know your dress is made of something we get from the caterpillar? Yes. So we get some of the, okay, so from the caterpillars we are getting some of the dresses. Yes or no? We are getting the dresses from the caterpillars also. Nilima was surprised and started thinking about how dresses are made up of material obtained from the caterpillars. So from the caterpillars, what type of dress material we are getting? What are the cloth we are getting from the caterpillar? So the caterpillar only make them. Okay, they make, and from that only they make the fibers, and from that only we are able to get the cloth. So already we have learned this. Okay, fibers from, okay, in the sixth class only we have learned about the plant fibers. Yes or no? So the animal also gives us, okay, and we get that from the animal also we are getting the fibers. We are getting the fiber from the animals. We are getting the fiber from the animals. So what fibers do animal gives us? What type of fiber they give us? And is the way of obtaining them similar to the plants? Okay, from the plants what we are getting is same to the animal fiber? They are same or they are similar? No, they are not similar. Okay, they have some differences. Which part of animal is useful to make the fiber? Which part we are using from the, okay, which part we are using? The hair of the animal we are using as a fiber. Okay, we are using the hair of the animal we are using as a fiber. So she asked, Nilima asking many questions about the fibers, how we are getting the fiber from the animals. So she is asking many doubts about the fiber. And the Reshmi is giving the answer to them. Okay, now we get the fiber from the plants and animals. We are getting the fiber from where? From the animals also we are getting, and from the plants also we are able to get. Okay, from the animals as well as the plants. Okay, from the plants also. So from animals also we are getting the fiber. From the plants also we are getting the fiber. Okay, that is fiber means like thread-like structure. Thread-like structure we obtain. How our hair looks, same thing. The plant. Okay, have seen the cotton. How they have the thin-like structure. Thin thread-like structure will be present in on. Okay, cotton. Have seen the cotton. Same thing. So how our hair it is there like that only. On the animals also we find the hair. On the animals also we can find the hair. So the the cotton, jute, okay, cotton from the from the plants. What are the fiber we are getting? Cotton, jute, gongura. From the gongura also, that is puntikura nunchi. Okay, from the puntikura also we are getting the fibers from the gongura. From the gongura also we are taking the fibers, and from the coconut plant also. From the coconut also we are taking the, okay, what are the cotton? Cotton we are getting from the cotton plants. We are getting the fiber from the cotton. Jute, okay, from the jute also we are getting the fiber, and from the gongura and from the coconut also we are getting the fiber. Yes, from okay, from that we are getting the fiber. From the animals, what are the animals we are, okay, using? We are using the sheep. Okay, from the sheep also we can see on the, okay, we can see the hair on the sheeps. Okay, the wool we can say, the fiber. Okay, from the sheep we are getting the fiber, and from the camel also we are getting the fiber, and also we are getting the yak. Yak, from the yak also we are getting the, okay, it is present in the cool regions, yak. Okay, and also from the goat, and from the silkworm. So many are there, and we are, okay, in the sheep also they have the different types of sheep. From that they are taking the fiber, that is the hair of the animal we are taking. Okay, from these animals we are getting the fiber. Sheep we are getting camel, yak, goat, silkworm. All these are animals which gives us the fiber. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the silkworm. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the silkworm. Yeah, silkworm, story of the silk. Making of silk or silk fabric is very interesting story. Okay, to make the silk cloth or the silk fabric, it is, okay, it is a very big procedure. Okay, this has a very big procedure, and it involves various persons and practices. So what they can, okay, so many people are involved in making of fabric, from the fiber to fabric, that is cloth. Okay, to make from the fiber, from the thread-like structure, we use thread-like structure, then we make the cloth. We make the cloth. To make this, okay, they have the many procedure, they have the many steps, we can say. They have the many stages. After that only we can make the fabric. So to rear or to grow the silkworm is known as sericulture. We call it as sericulture. The rearing of silkworm is known as sericulture. Okay, and so what are the stages? What are the stages of silkworm? Okay, first, silk, in the stall one we can see from moth, that is, it looks like a butterfly. The silk moth or the silkworm is saying it is a moth, it is look like a butterfly to the egg. Okay, so this was the stall where eggs and different moths were displayed. Okay, we can see the different types of silkworms. Silkworms. Okay, so in the silkworm, it looks like a butterfly. It looks like a butterfly. The silk moth or the silkworm, first it looks like a silk. Okay, it looks like a butterfly moth. Silk moth looks like a butterfly. Okay, it looks like a butterfly. Have you seen the butterfly? Yes. Hello, I am Priyanti Pratima, living in Palamakula of Madhya district. My father works in a seed growing center. So in this, they have to, okay, where the Pratima's father working, he is working in a seed growing center. Seed means seed growing center. He is working in a seed growing center. Seed is nothing but the egg. Seed is nothing but the egg of the silk moth. Egg of the silk moth. Egg of the silk moth. Okay, seed is nothing but the egg of the silk moth. Do you know we call the eggs of the silk moth as seed? So we call the egg of the silk moth as a seed. Okay, we call it as seed. Okay, seed. The egg of the silk moth is known as the seed. We call as a seed. This is called the seed eggs. This, okay, when you see, it is very small. We are not able to see with our naked. Very small. It is very tiny eggs. So what we call the eggs of the silk moth? Seed. Silk moth is like a butterfly. Silk moth, how it looks? It looks like a silk moth looks like a butterfly. It looks like a butterfly, like this. We can see. It looks like a butterfly. When it grows up, it looks like a butterfly. We keep those moths in grill. So what they do, they keep this silk moth. Okay, they keep this silk moth in a box, mesh, that is jali unna. Okay, they keep this in the mesh. They keep them in the mesh. Okay, this butterfly, okay, the silk moth, where they keep this, they keep in the mesh. Okay, grill mesh box in a separate room. Okay, where they keep in a separate room. This they made up. Okay, they make them into the boxes. Okay, they made into boxes with the help of. Okay, they use the meshes. Jali ఉంటాయి కదా, దాంతో boxes చేసి they keep the silk moths in this. Okay, and my father take care of this silk moth. We call them as chilakulu. Okay, they call it as chilakulu. Okay, they call it as chilakulu. These boxes are known as chilakulu. My father said another name for the moth. Okay, for the silk moth, they have the other name, Bombyx mori. Okay, Bombyx mori. Bombyx mori. Mori. The other name for the silk moth is the Bombyx mori. They use this Bombyx mori and they grow this in the mesh. They grow in the mesh, grill mesh. At the time of laying eggs, we arrange white. Okay, when they lay eggs, this moth, when they lay eggs, what they do, they will arrange. They arrange the white cloth. They arrange the white cloth. They arrange the white cloth. Okay, they arrange the white cloth or the paper also. They use the paper or the cloth. Paper or cloth they use. Okay, they arrange. Moths lay eggs, hundreds eggs too on them. They lay hundreds of eggs on them. A female moth lays around 500 to eggs in one and go and dies. So the female silk moth, what they do, they lay the eggs. They lay eggs about some 500 to 800 eggs in a day, and then what happened? They die. After laying the eggs, they die soon. Those eggs are very small in size. So these eggs they lay on the where they are laying on the paper, and then so when they lay the eggs, how many they are laying the eggs? Some 500 to 800 eggs in a day. Only in one day they lay the eggs, 500 to 800 eggs they lay, and after laying the eggs they die. Okay, they die after that. Those eggs are very small in size. These eggs are very small in size. Farmers from different places of this state come and purchase it. Okay, so this from where the eggs are laying, from here the farmers, those who grow the silk moths or sericulture, okay, so what they do, they will purchase these eggs from the center, from the silk, okay, egg centers. Okay, most of the time my father allows these eggs to hatch. So what happened? After this they have to hatch it. So when you keep the egg of the hen, okay, what happened? It takes the time to hatch. Then only it will. After that, what happened? After hatching the eggs, what happened? We get the chick. Same thing, when the eggs of the silk moth hatches, it changes into silkworm or the caterpillar we can say. It changes into caterpillar. Most of the time when father allows these eggs to hatch in special chambers, usually over the mats. So they keep the chambers like box like structure, and they have the, so in this they keep the cloth, and after they have the different, and they will hatch. After taking this, they will collect the eggs and they keep in the separate chamber. They keep in the separate chamber, and after when they keep the eggs in this and they hatch it. They hatch and they go into the worms, small worms. So where they are keeping this over the mats, they keep on the beds of the, and so where they keep them. So if they have the chamber like this, that is box like structure, they spread the cloth, or on the cloth they will use the mulberry leaves. They use the mulberry leaves. Okay. Mulberry leaves to get the small worms. After that they put the, what they keep after hatching this eggs into worms, they keep the small worms onto the mulberry leaves. So farmers from the Kurnool, Kadapa, Mangalore, Nagar and some other places of our state come and purchase this tiny worms. So from the other districts also they come and take the worms. They purchase the worms from this silk centers or the seed centers. Okay, when they take this, when they take the silkworms, small silkworms. These silkworms, the sometimes silkworms are also sold. So some people they sell the silkworms, small silkworms, that is worms, smaller ones, or some may sell the moths, that is, it looks like a butterfly. They also sell this. Some people takes the eggs of the silkworms. So they will purchase from the centers and they grow into the silkworms and they produce the silk. Some people buy this to produce the, so some people when they buy the silk moths, why they are purchasing the silk moth? To produce the eggs. Okay. These centers are called, so where they are producing the eggs, these centers are known as greenagers. So where they are producing the eggs, such centers are known as greenagers. I saw a big seed growing center at the Horseless and Hills in Chittor district in AP. Okay, where it is greenagers. Greenagers is nothing but where the eggs are sold. Okay, so this place is known as greenagers. So it is where it is where it is greenagers in our state. It is in the AP. That is Horseless Hills in Chittor. Okay, in Chittor it is there. So in the stall one, what we have learned about the silk moth and how they are producing the eggs. Okay, so how it is producing in the first stage we have learned. In the second stage we learn about, okay, what are the second stage from the egg to the second stage is, or the second stall is from the egg to the cocoon. Okay, how from the eggs, how they are changing into the cocoon we can see in the next class. Okay, thank you.